What's up YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and we will be doing at least a $1,000 half dollar hunt. As you can see, I've got 2 full boxes of Brinks half dollars in front of us. I have 1 more at the bank and a couple coming in from my Wells Fargo. I don't know if they're in yet, so I'm going to keep hunting boxes till we find something interesting. That said, I do think we've got a little bit of a bicentennial proof ender here, so this should be at least a little bit of fun because we know we're going to have 1 good find. So let's jump into it. So we're going to go ahead and start with this box. It's got the proof ender. That's going to end up being roll, what is that, 15, 16, 17. So we've got a couple of rolls to open before we get there. And like I've been doing in a lot of my recent videos, I'm going to go ahead and open a few rolls on camera that we can edge hunt together, looking for silver. And then, of course, I will go back through looking for the various mint errors and varieties that we always look for. Now, if you would like a list of those mint errors and varieties, you can look down in the description of all of my coin roll hunts. It's down in the description below the video. And there is a link to a Google Doc that has everything that I hunt for, whether it be half dollars, quarters, nickels, dimes, or pennies. So in this part of the process, though, we're really just looking at those edges. That guy looks a little interesting. For a gray edge that's missing copper, because that is the telltale sign that you have got a silver half dollar. And this is just a 1993 that read very silvery. So let's do 2 more here on camera, and then I'll go off camera and bring you guys in when we find something. The other thing I guess I'll mention is we are also looking for NIFCs, which would be your 1987, your 1970, which is also a 40% silver, and we would be looking for anything 2002 to 2020. Those were only made in mint sets for collectors. So that's what we're doing here today. That's what we're looking for, and so far we have come up with nothing. So like I said, going off camera, hopefully I'll bring you in soon. So we got the paper off of roll number 6, and it's not a great find, but it is an NIFC, which I talked about at the beginning. A not intended for circulation coin. So here we see there's a 2006 Denver. Now when you look for those in a roll of half dollars, they kind of jump out at you because the edge is usually pretty darn shiny, because as I said, they were never meant for circulation, so they're typically not very heavily circulated. And they look a lot nicer than the much, much older pre-2002 half dollars. We just cracked into roll number 12. Along the way, I did find a kind of beat up 2004 NIFC that I just threw up here on the board, but I'm stopping you here, and I've already looked at the roll. I'm just bringing you in to show you what I saw. When I first opened it, this really kind of green coin read a little silvery to me. I checked it already. It's just a dirty 1974, but look at the edge on this guy. That is telltale sign for either like a brand spanking new 2022 half dollar, or it's a proof. And like I said, I've already looked, so I know. I hate that I ruined the surprise for myself, but look at this thing. The mirror finish of this on the back, this thing just looks fantastic for a 1978 proof in circulation. Getting there real close, you can see that S mint mark, so it's San Francisco, and we know it's clad because the edge has that big copper core on it. If it were silver, it would be all gray or silvery looking, but all that said, it's actually a pretty darn good looking proof considering it's been in circulation. Here we are on roll 14, and this is either a silver or it's an educational moment, in that from time to time you're going to find coins that look like this and you're going to get really excited and say, well, they're more gray than everything else. They don't have a real nice copper line on them. That's probably silver. And the reality is sometimes you get fooled and it is silver, but most of the time that ends up just being like a 71 or a 74 that's just a dirty planchet. And look at that, it was a 1971. That's been my experience when they look like this. That's usually what it is. So I did want to go ahead and bring you guys in. We are on roll 16, and roll 17 has that ender proof, or at least I think it's an ender proof. So I figured I would go ahead and open up the next 5 rolls on camera, and we'll see what we have in there. That's just an ugly 79. That's got that real thick rim like it wants to be a proof. It's probably a mint set coin, but it's been well circulated. All right, here we go. There's roll 17 with that bicentennial proof. At least that's what I think it is. Let's check it out together. We might have two proofs in here, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Let's just go through this roll together. We got a marked coin. It's just a nice 81 with that first big rim. Check that 71 under the scope. It's another 71 I'll put under the scope. And there it is. That is a bicentennial San Francisco clad proof. It's got a little bit of toning because it looks like it's been an ender for a little while. Actually, it's a little yellowed on both sides. But again, not a bad looking proof for being in circulation. All right, I already went through that roll, so I'm just going to put it aside. All right, nothing there. Off camera we go. So we just ripped into roll 33, and it was a terrible tear, but I wanted to bring you in because we got some interesting looking stuff in here. Mainly these two thick ones. This is missing most of its reeds, and this looks like we might have another proof on our hands. Let's see. Oh yeah, we do. It is a 1985 San Francisco, again, clad, because we got that big copper core proof. All right, that makes it 3 proofs on the box. And let's check out, we had one more fat guy in here. Let's see, what did you end up being? Just kind of an ugly coin, 1971. All right, so nothing else special in there, but we're going to keep on hunting. All right, well, we are down to our last 5 rolls. I'll show them to you there. Our NIFC pile has grown since I last brought you in. No more proofs or anything, but I do have one coin I'm going to show you under the scope at some point during the video because I found a great example of machine doubling. And I know I get asked that question a lot is how do you tell the difference between machine doubling and a double die? So that $50 actually has a great example of machine doubling on the reverse. So we'll look at that at some point in the video. Probably pretty soon if this box doesn't produce. But let's get through these last couple of rolls and see what we got. Whoa. One. Ooh, look at that. I almost missed it. We got a foreign. It's from, it's a Republic de Panama, Medio Balboa, 2017. Convento de la, what does that say? Concepcion. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever, well, no, I have found one of these before. It looks very proof-like. But I don't see any kind of mint mark, so I don't know. But that's a cool find. We're definitely going to put that up on the board. I like finding foreigns. All right, here we go. This is roll number, what is this, 48. All right, well, let me go back through these, see if we have any errors or varieties, and then we'll come back in for a wrap-up, and I'll give you guys a look at that machine doubling. Well, we have hit the end of that box, and I want to just bring you in for the recap. We did end up with 3 proofs. Now, I do hang on to all my proofs, even though you can see we've got some fingerprints and some wear, but these things should not be in circulation, so I call all of them. I probably have $50 or $60 worth of these things that I've found over the years. But we did get a bicentennial, a 78, and an 85 clad proof. We got a 2002, a couple of 2003s, an 04, an 06, an 07, an 08, a 2018, and a 2020 NIFC. So again, those were all meant for mint sets and collectors, and they shouldn't be in circulation, but they somehow made it out. And we got a whole bunch of them. So this was actually a pretty good box when it came to finds. Unfortunately, we didn't get any silver. I do love these Panamanian coins. I do like the one, the Balboa with, I think it's Medio Balboa on the front. It's one of the Explorers. I think it's a much cooler looking coin, but I think this one's really nice too, and it's very proof-like, which is cool. And like I said, I'll take you over here in a second under the scope. I'll see if we can see it just with the camera. Yeah, you kind of can, just under the camera. But I'll get in there and I'll kind of show you guys the difference between a double die and a machine doubling. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into box number 2. All right, well, I've put that $half under the scope to show you guys a little closer what that doubling looks like. I would like you to pay attention and notice that we have a sharp shelf and really just parts of the coin that appear to be doubled. It's almost as if when this die hit, it slipped and these letters were smeared. So you don't really have 2 letters, you have a smeared letter, right? At least that's the way this looks to me, and it's also pretty evident because you can see there's an angle to the individual doubling or the smearing of these letters, and it's pretty prevalent throughout a lot of the reverse of this quarter or this $half along most of the lettering here from the D all the way around here to America, or maybe it's from a little further back here, maybe states all the way around there to dollar on the bottom. But I believe this is machine doubling. And really quickly, if you're not already going to this website, Wexler's die varieties website, it's doubledie.com, is a fantastic resource to learn how dies are made, how coins are struck, and what a double die is. And it's really worth reading this opening bit on what mechanical or machine doubling is. It's also called ejection doubling or strike doubling or shift doubling or shelf doubling. And again, that's what I was mentioning earlier, how it looks like the letters have been smeared. But on this website, he does show this is legitimate doubling, and from here it actually looks like you've got 2 letters. They're the same height. They truly look like it's 2 versions of the letter sitting kind of on top of each other or beside each other. Whereas down here it is strike doubling, right? Or mechanical doubling, machine doubling. And you can see the smearing, like we see here, looks just like our coin. There it is again, just so you can see it under the scope. And here it is back on doubledie.com. For fun, I went ahead and pulled one of my 1974 DDOs that I have found just to show you what it would look like on a real coin here and not just in a flat picture. But this is, I think, the FS101. And the telltale sign on the FS101 is this little double notch on the 4, because technically it's another 4 sitting underneath this thing. You can even see a little line here. So there's the end of the first 4, and there's the end of the second 4, and you can even see 2 bases. But when you look over here at the word trust, it's really, really obvious. You can see we have the base of an R and the base of an R, and the leg of an R and the leg of an R. This doesn't look like smeared letters. It truly is 2 letters sitting on top of each other, right? So this is what like a 1974 D double die obverse looks like. Very, very different than this shelf or machine or strike doubling. So hopefully that educates you guys a little bit. So when you look at your coins, or maybe you're looking to buy something, you see something on eBay, somebody selling this saying, oh, it's machine doubling, it's $1 million. No, it's not. This is very, very common. Double dies, far less common. All right, let's get back to our $half hunt. All right, well, here we go with box number 2. Let's go ahead and get this pushed out of the way and get those first 5 rolls open together. Nothing in there. Okay, well, like box number 1, I'm going off camera, and I hope to bring you in soon because we'll find something interesting. Well, this second box has been a bit of a disaster. We are 4 rolls from the end, and I'm bringing you in. I've already looked at this coin, but I had the paper open like this, and I saw this really cruddy one and thought, let me take a look. Wait till you see this thing. It is really, really awful. It looks like maybe somebody tried to artificially tone it. And I was about to just stick it back in the roll. Actually, I did stick it back in the roll. And then I noticed something special. It is a San Francisco clad proof. And when I say artificially toned, I think there's a way that you can use like vinegar. And you can stick these things like in an oven. And I've seen the process on YouTube before. But that's what this looks like. Artificially toned proof $half. It's kind of neat looking. So I'm going to hang on to it. But that is all this box has produced. I had one 2018 that looked like it had been run over by a truck, and it took me, I had to look at it under the scope really closely to even be able to identify it. So I'm going to get through these. We've got 3 more rolls there, and then I have a third box we're going to go ahead and tack on to the end. Well, here we are with box number 3. I was able to pick this up today from my Fifth Third. I usually get 3 boxes a week from them, so I swung by today and picked this up. I had one ugly coin here on the top rack. Other than that, no NIFCs, no 2021s, no 2022s. Just a good old-fashioned circulated box of $50, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to do 5 on camera like we've done with the last 2 boxes, just to see how we do. The rest of that looks like clad. I'll tell you what, I've been watching lots of people find a lot of New Year's silver, and I am just not finding it, not seeing it. Not in my halves, not in my dimes, but it'll come around. It'll be all right. That's just a 2000. That's an ugly 71. Let's check this green one. It's just a 72. The other thing that's been interesting about these boxes is I haven't had tons and tons of marked coins, which is a nice departure as well, because I used to get boxes just loaded and loaded and loaded with marked coins. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been some, but not 3/4 of the box, which is nice. Okay, roll number 5. So far, just a bunch of clad. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, and hopefully we have a few finds to share. And just like that, we are done with box number 3. I still have to fill this roll because we did come across a couple more NIFCs. We had a 2003, a 2004, a 2007, and a 2016. Just to recap, in box 2, we did have that one Balboa foreign, which I think is pretty cool. I'll hang on to that. We did have that really crazy, I believe that's going to be a homegrown toning somebody tried. It's kind of an interesting looking clad proof. And then in box number 1, I've already kind of disposed of or added to collections the NIFCs that were in box 1. But we did end up with a bicentennial San Francisco clad proof, a 78, and an 85 clad proof. And then again, about midway through the video, I did go through. This was a great example of machine doubling. And it was just a 1972D. This can happen on any coin. It doesn't just happen on $50, but just wanted to educate you guys a little bit on that. And if you skim to the end, you can go back in the middle and find where I covered that. So with that said, it's not the way I wanted to start 2023. I was hoping to find a little bit of silver in those first 3 boxes, but we didn't quite get there. That's okay, though. We've got lots of boxes on order. We'll do lots of hunts for the rest of the year, so I'm sure we'll get that silver here any day now. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was fun hunting through the coins. Like I said, I wish we just had a little more to show for it. If you're new to the channel and you like coin roll hunts, I do a lot of them. I try to post at least 2 or 3 videos a week when I can, when I'm in town. So if you want to catch all my videos, make sure you click on that subscribe button, then click on that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. With that said, if you guys have questions, comments, thoughts, if you like the video, drop down below, click that like button, leave me a comment, shoot me an email. I'm happy to get back to you. I hope you guys have enjoyed the new year. I hope you're having a great start to 2023, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.